we'll get started in about 10 seconds for props today. Whatever makes you comfortable, something certainly to roll up. We'll do our calf stretching. Unless you have a formal calf stretching ramp or a half round, then have a yoga blanket or towel. We'll turn that into our tool. We'll get started sitting. So yes, use your blankets, use your blocks to get comfortable enough sitting on the ground so that we can focus on breathing. Thanks for letting me know, Cynthia. And then once you are seated, just do a little rock from sitting bone to sitting bone, side to side. Feel for evening out on your two hips. And if that means you need a little extra support underneath your thighs for when you settle into stillness, or maybe just under one, arrange that. And sit right in the middle. We'll rock back and forth a couple times from pubic bone to tailbone. Invite your breath down into the pelvis and sigh it out. And then settle right in the middle, balancing on the sitting bones, feeling for the pubic bone rooting down in the front, the tailbone uncurling down to the ground in the back, the spine lengthening, a sense of lightness, almost like, I like to think of spine like seaweed rooted under the ocean, but being drawn upwards, free to move with the current of your breath. In an organic, gooey way. Inhale your shoulders to your ears. Exhale, draw the shoulders down. Repeat as you need. And keep the shoulders back. Inhale, lengthen the spine straight up from your pubic bone. Exhale, drop your chin down to your chest. I say drop like it's a sudden movement. Gradually let the weight of your head start to fall forward, stretching back of neck. Echo of that stretch might reverberate all the way down your spine to the pelvis. Breathe into the spaces between the bones of the spine. Exhale, separate your teeth, soften around the eyes. Inhale, right ear over towards the right shoulder. Exhale, roll back down to chest. Inhale towards the left shoulder, widen collarbones. Exhale down. Go to each side 2 or 3 more times. And not forcing a big movement, but feeling the organic rate of a release of the tension in the neck. A sense of your neck head gliding in its orbit. And when that feels fairly balanced and smooth side to side, then finish with your chin down to your chest. Heavy head, a relaxed face. Inhale your heart, your sternum up towards your chin. Exhale, soften shoulder blades back towards each other. Bring a palm to your forehead. A little pressure of head into hand to keep neck released as you put it back on top of spine. Change the cross of your legs. We'll take a few rounds of Shivananda breathing. Ujjayi breath is welcome if you know how to connect to the whisper sound of your breath, gently constricting the back of the throat to slow it down, to give it sound. And wherever you are in your breath, empty out. Together, we breathe in through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out nose 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause a beat and start again. Inhale 5. Through nose if nose is clear enough. Hold it in. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause for a moment and start again. 3 more rounds on your own. And when you complete your last round, return to breathing continuously, no pause between the inhale, exhale. Flush the breath through. You are free to keep your eyes closed as you open your legs into straddle. Not necessarily your widest straddle, just a chance to straighten the legs, maybe give them a rub or a tap. The blood, lymph start to run through the knees again, through the ankles. And then put your hands either on the ground by your seat if you need to push into blocks or something to help you sit up tall. Flex your feet, all 10 toes pointing up to the ceiling, even Mr. Pinky Toe. Exhale, point the feet, point the ankles. Inhale, pull the toes back, the feet back. And exhale, reach out through the tops of the ankles. One more time like that. Inhale, flex. Exhale, extend. This time, flex. Keep them flexed. Bring your hands into prayer for a moment. Breathe into the low back ribs. Expand them off of your low back. And then release the low belly out. Exhale, hug low abdominals in. Reach pubic bone to the floor. If this is a position, you can reach your arms up in, then reach them up. If you need to keep them down by your hips, you'll do shoulder shrugs. As we inhale, right arm up to the sky, and then exhale, left. Reaching straight up, almost like you're climbing a rope, one arm at a time. Yes, there might be a tiny bit of side bending, but it's more of a side lengthening. Making spaces on the sides of the spine. Lifting the ribs off the pelvis. Breathing the ribs away from each other. Are the feet still flexed? Reach out through your heels. All right, next time right arm is up, catch it with your left hand. Relax the right shoulder. Maybe drop back just a little bit, but breathe into low back ribs. Lift those off your low back. Exhale, hug low belly in. So you're truly opening shoulder, not popping the chest out to get there. And then reach the left arm up. Catch your left wrist. And then draw the arm bone up and back a little bit, relaxing the left shoulder as much as possible. Make right arm do the work. So if I let go with my right hand, my left arm is that relaxed. And then relax your arms down. Bring your legs back into, actually, bend your knees, feet on the floor in front of you. Lean back on your hands, lift your heart up, inhale. And then let your knees go a little swish, swish, side to side. Feeling the movement of the thigh bone in the hip, starting to lubricate that joint. If the movement gets bigger and starts to turn into a twist, that's fine. If the movement stays tiny, that works too. Focus your breath down into your hip joints. All right. And then next time the knees drop to the left side, some of you will be able to roll left knee all the way to the floor. So you're sitting on left hip. We'll move into a side bend series. Some of your hips, this is no good. Then straighten right leg out and open the left knee. We'll all walk left fingertips directly out to the side of your hip, 18 inches away. Stay on your fingertips. Those of you with the right leg out, flex the foot up to the sky and then press on the ball of the foot. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, left palm to the ground, leaning to your left. Inhale, lift the low back ribs off your low back. Exhale, pubic bone towards the earth. Neck release. Right hand lowers down to the right. And find just the right angle for your arm. So you feel a sweet stretch that starts to unwind as you hang your head off that line. Those of you in the, I'm starting to call this mermaid's position until I have a better name for it. You might be able to catch your right ankle and simply hang off your relaxed right arm and shoulder. Flush breath through the right side of your neck. Exhale, hug the low abdominals in. Exhale, turn your chin down to the left shoulder. Those of you holding your ankle can pull on your ankle to pull yourself up. Those of you reaching through right arm, reach through the right arm, press off left. And then change sides. Right fingertips directly out to the side of right hip. Reaching inches, stay on the finger pads. Inhale, left arm up, lift the left ribs off your hip. Exhale, right palm down. Draw the elbow in and maybe press it forward just a little bit to get the opening through the right side collarbones. Soft neck, soft jaw. And lower left hand down to the left for your neck release. Either hovering palm a few inches over the earth or taking hold of left ankle if that feels right to your neck. Inhale, expand the back bottom ribs. Get the breath all the way down to that part of your lungs. Exhale, draw both shoulders away from your neck. And keep your neck released as you work yourself up to sitting. Let's come to all fours. We'll start in pelvic tilts. Optional if you have 2 or 4 yoga blocks or 2 yoga bolsters. You can put your knees, ideally 4 blocks, so you can put your feet on the blocks too. Though so far it feels okay to me to have them only under my knees. Then again, these are small blocks. So you feel that for yourself. Bolster or a blanket towel underneath the hands if you need a little relaxation for your wrists. Once you're in position, relax your neck. Push into the ground to lift out of your shoulders. Breathe into the upper back. Exhale, drop the top rim of the sacrum towards the floor, just enough to recover the curve in your low back. Keep the ribs, front ribs, up in the body. Inhale, top rim sacrum towards the ceiling. Disappear the curve in your low back, maybe even round it. Tail is down. Exhale, top rim sacrum towards floor. Sit bones might widen as you uncurl tail. Continue on your breath. This might feel somewhat like cat-cow, but isolate it to your pelvis. I started with a big movement in case you needed to see, but your movement might be really tiny as you start to free this area from your rib cage. Ribs stay fairly steady. Neck and shoulders relaxed, steady. All right, let's lower down onto our elbows. Come back to that neutral curve in your low spine. Lower down onto your elbows. Clasp your hands. Relax your neck. Inhale, press the ground away with the forearms. Relax the wrists down, press the elbows down, lift out of your shoulders, but keep your head hanging. Exhale, relax that pressure, sink between your shoulders. Inhale, press the ground away. Breathe into upper back. Exhale, deflate the upper back. Shoulder blades massage their way in. A couple breaths like that, working the other end of the spine. So now the pelvis and low spine, low ribs are fairly steady. As we start to free the shoulders, unglue them from the rib cage. Breath, either direction works. If you want to pause in one shape or the other for extra breaths, if you're feeling a release or an engagement. There's no wrong way to do this as long as you're breathing and not pushing through pain. All right, we'll take a few moments in dolphin prep. Next time you're pressing the ground away, keep that engagement like 30% of your strength, not a lot of pressure. Keep the head and neck relaxed down. Lean your hips back to get a little stretch through the front of the shoulders around the armpits. Some of you might want to tuck your toes and lift your knees off the ground or blocks into what I'm calling now turbo dolphin, using your strong legs to get the weight back out of your shoulders. If you want to do full dolphin, that's fine. Just feel what the difference is between the turbo variation, connecting to abdominals a little more, connecting to power. And then use that power if you're moving into the full dolphin. All right, everyone, if your knees are up, set them down. Let's crawl out onto our belly. So move your props out of the way. Kind of do a low cobra sphinx hybrid. So set up like you're setting up for sphinx with your elbows directly under your shoulders, hands spread out in front of you. I know sphinx from Yin Yoga, where this is a passive shape. This is where we'll add a little low cobra in, not so passive. Spreading your fingertips, suction cup your fingertips down to the mat and draw the mat towards you. Again, maybe 30% of your strength, a little pull. Now spread your 10 toenails and press them down to the mat. Inhale into the low back ribs. Lift them off your low back. Exhale, curl pubic bone down to mat. Now focus on the space you're creating between the sacrum, the pelvis, and the bones of the low spine. So just enough effort to feel breath, energy moving between those bones. Yes, your arms might get a little tired. That's okay. That means you're doing it right, as long as there are no sharp pains. And lower down onto your belly. Take a moment to rest with head on hands. If lying on the belly is not comfortable at all for you, lie on your back or on your right side because we're heading there next. We'll come into side lying Tadasana. Lying on your right side. If it's comfortable to extend right arm overhead and rest your head on your arm, do that. If that might not work for your shoulder, in which case use a block, a blanket, or a pillow to keep your head in line with the rest of your spine. Arm out in front of you. As decompress as you need. Separate your feet a little bit so they're about hips width apart. And this is where you can be nice and fussy. Use your left hand in front of your belly to balance. Press your feet back, your hip bones forward just enough so that if you were lined up on the edge of your yoga mat, your head, your hips, and your heels would be in one line. Now you might feel your left hip with your left elbow. Lean your left hip into your elbow a little bit so your left hip lines up over your right hip. Inhale into the low back ribs. Lift them off your low back. Exhale, soften the chest down. Again, inhale, telescope low back ribs off of the low back. Release your low belly. And then exhale, softly hug low abdominals in. So over the course of the hour, I'm going to cue us to keep relaxing and engaging low abdominals. This is an area that holds a lot of tension. I want us to find its strength again. Maybe not today, but over the rest of our lives, that'd be good. Option, left arm can reach overhead for a balance. You can point or flex your feet. If you're playing on that balance point with your left hip forward, it will feel like you're going to roll over, and that's good. That's in that little hover shaky spot is where your abdominals will start to talk. Postural muscles. All right, relax into a fetal curve. Hug your knees in. Bow your head down. Coming onto your left side. Now, if the floor feels hard underneath your bones, like your hip bones, your shoulder, maybe lie in a blanket, get some extra padding. And if you're being very fussy, you can use the edge of your yoga mat to line up your ankle bone, your pointy hip bone. You might feel it pointy. Not everyone does. And your head. Right hand in front of you to help you balance. Feet separated, hips width apart. And you can lift the left foot up just a little bit too, so you don't feel anything hanging off your low back. Breathe into low back ribs. Telescope them off your pelvis. Exhale, lean the chest down just a little bit. Get softness in the front body. Option balance, right arm up overhead. Or any arm position. You can play with pointing and flexing feet. Breathe. Fetal curve. Draw your knees in, bow your head down. Opening up the back of the spine to your breath. Now we'll do one more round of that with the option to practice rolling. I was talking to my aunt yesterday, who I think is 66, and she was talking about how her chiropractor was trying to get her to roll on the table without using her hands and feet. And how hard that was, but what a good adjustment that is for the spine and a movement to keep. So she has to relearn that. So we can play with that here. If you're not interested in doing this at all, once you see what it is, instead you'll come onto your back and simply massage your back into your yoga mat any way you like. So those of you preparing to roll, set up your side lying Tadasana on your right side one more time. And depending which way you're going to roll, we'll roll forwards first. So make sure there's enough room in front of you to roll forward. You'll come into your hover spot. You can keep your arms up, or it might feel safer to cross your arms across your chest, especially if you're on a harder floor. You don't want your breast pressing into the floor. And then hopefully if you're in the hover point, it's fairly easy to get the momentum to roll to the other side. Oops. And try to balance. And after you try that side once or twice, set yourself up so there's enough room to roll onto your back. And try to do it that way, using your arms and legs as little as possible. Breathe, and your, again, abdominal postural muscles will figure out how to do that. And if you have lots of space, of course, you can play as much as you like rolling down the hill. Have you done that in a while? All right, when you're satisfied with your rolling around, land on your back, hug your knees into your chest. Let your breath and heartbeat slow down if it got exciting. And then we'll meet lying on our backs with feet on the floor. If you want something underneath your head to help the back of the neck stay long and relaxed, you are welcome to do that. We won't be putting pressure near the head at this point. So having head lifted or even patting under shoulders with your head a little higher than the shoulders for some spines will allow your pelvis to neutralize. So settle into a place that ramping should help your low back ribs settle onto the mat. Back of the sacrum is settled onto the mat. The low back is light. We won't press it down. Take a breath into the low back ribs. Release the low belly. Exhale. Hug the low belly in. Pick your left foot off the floor. Knee lines up right over the hips, like in a chair. Breathe into the low back ribs. Spread them on the mat. Relax low belly out. Exhale, soften low belly in. Pick your right foot up. Inhale into low back ribs, relax low belly. Exhale, right foot down. Pull low belly in. Inhale, feel the rib cage spread out on your yoga mat. Relax low belly. Exhale, pull low belly in. Left foot down. Waking up the low abdominals to this action so our tight hip flexors don't always take over. Again, breathe into the back of your body and relax low belly and pelvis. Exhale, draw low belly in. Pick your right foot up. Breathe into back body. Relax low belly and pelvis. Exhale, pull belly in. Pick left foot up. See if you can find low belly pulling in, lifting the foot. Breathe into the low back ribs. Relax your belly. Relax your pelvic floor. Exhale, pull low belly in. Left foot down. Breathe into low back ribs. Relax belly. Exhale, pull low belly in. Right foot down. Again. Breathe into low back ribs. Relax your low belly. Exhale, engage your low belly. Pick your left foot up. Relax your jaw. Inhale into back of the rib cage, broaden between shoulders. Relax low belly. Exhale, draw low belly towards sacrum. Pick right foot up. Breathe into the low back ribs. Release low belly all the way down to pubic bone. Exhale, pull low belly off of pubic bone. Right foot down. Breathe into back ribs. Relax low belly. Exhale, draw low belly in as you set left foot down. One more full round. More of a breathing exercise than anything else. Breathe into low back ribs. And as you relax low belly, relax pelvic floor so it moves in rhythm with your diaphragm. Exhale, pull the low belly in and keep pulling in to pick your right foot up. Breathe into the whole rib cage, expand 360 degrees, release belly. Exhale, hug low abdominals towards your spine. Keep that in as you pick left foot up. Breathe into the back of the body. Feel yourself expand on your yoga mat. Exhale, pull your low belly in, left foot down. Inhale, low back ribs flatten onto mat. Relax low belly out. Exhale, draw low belly in, right foot down. Variation, open your arms into goalposts if that's okay for your shoulders. Inhale, open your knees into a butterfly. You don't have to move your feet. Keep them hips width apart. Exhale, pull low belly in. Bring the legs back up, knees back up. Inhale, low back ribs on mat as you open thighs. Exhale, hug low belly in as you squeeze your imaginary thigh master. Much less pressure though, no tension. Already a lot of tension in these structures. Inhale, open into your butterfly. Open your back ribs onto the mat. Don't let them arch up. Exhale, pull low belly in and pull your knees back together. One more time. Inhale, open into butterfly. Release low belly out. Exhale, pull low belly in. Legs together. Now heel toe your feet wider so you can rest the knees against each other. Constructive rest pose. Cross one arm over the other across your chest, if that feels okay for shoulders. And you can relax in the self-hug. Let the bottom teeth fall back into the mouth. Tongue gently resting on the roof of the mouth. Run your breath through your pelvis, through your hips, through your low back. Change the cross of your arms. Feel for the contents of the belly, the pelvis, sinking towards the back of your pelvis, towards sacrum. Muscles right inside the hip bones. Let go. Unravel your arms. We'll come into Apanasana. Use your breath and low abdominals to draw right knee to chest. And straighten left leg out on your yoga mat. Flex the left toes up to the sky to begin. Let's flex both feet. And reach out through left heel, trying to work your hamstrings and the bottom of your seat down to the mat. Untucking the tail. And I know for many of us, it feels like the buttocks are in the way, and that's why the back of the leg can't touch all the way down. Turns out it's really just a pelvic tilt. So if you're ramping your shoulders in your head, you've set yourself up to get your pelvis to tilt down. If it doesn't happen today, don't worry. We have the rest of our lives to start to recover that structure, that alignment. I've been told the difference between posture and alignment. Alignment is the way our bones and muscles are designed to stack so they work optimally. And posture has more to do with how we present as upright, two-legged beings in the world. Change legs. Straighten your right leg out on your mat. Draw left knee to chest. Let's focus on the untucking of the tail and pressing the right hamstrings down to the mat. Hold on to left leg however you like. You don't even need to hold on to it maybe. But if you want to wrap a towel so your arms can relax, do that. Feel for back bottom ribs expanding on the mat. You can play with your breath through the rest of the class with releasing low belly and hugging it in. There's no wrong place to do that. All right, draw both knees back to your chest. Hands cupping the knees, circle the knees a couple times away from each other, lubricating again within the hip joint. And a few circles in the other direction. And you don't have to use your hands to do this. Hands are nice because then you can relax the hips as you move them, but you can also let gravity move them. Let's find the hamstrings for just a moment. One more time, hug right knee to chest, put left foot on the floor, activate your left foot, spread the toes, slip your hands behind your right thigh so you can start to extend right leg up to sky, just till you feel your hamstrings, and they will let you know where they are. Listen to them when they start talking. Don't wait till they scream. Exhale, bend the right knee back in, heel to butt. Breathe down into low back pelvis. And exhale, straighten right leg. Inhale. Exhale, bend it in. Take another breath or two on this side. If your head is not ramped, you might feel how your chin is starting to lift up as you unwind hamstrings from hips. Soften your chin back down. Yes, the backs of our legs are attached to the back of our neck. Changing sides. When that side's complete, simply hug right knee to chest. Activate your right foot standing on the floor. And then use your breath to slowly unravel the muscles behind the left leg and hip and glutes. I recommend initiating each motion up or down on the exhale. But we're not doing anything extreme enough that you'll create any damage if you reverse the breath. Either to your nervous system or to the physical body. Keep breathing. All right, when you are complete, hug knees to chest, or take a happy baby, or return to constructive rest pose for a couple breaths. And take about at least 6 breaths to slowly work your way up to standing. We've been on our backs and on the ground for a while. So if you notice you get lightheaded in transition, pause, maybe with all 4 limbs on the ground. Maybe do some cats, cows, or down dogs. And then once you're standing, we'll come into Tadasana for sun breaths, and we'll play with that optimal pelvic alignment, which might undo a little yoga teaching. There's a little push-pull there, but we'll incorporate it. Make space for it. I've noticed I'm using this a lot in my teaching because I've been practicing with it. I've finally, after years, incorporating it. And today I noticed that I can breathe in my up dogs and cobras. I was never able to catch a full breath before. It's amazing. I tolerated that for decades. So I want to share. Rock your hips back over your heels. So for many of us, bringing your hips back to get this hip bone in line over your ankle is going to feel like you're going to fall on your butt. Lean forward so you don't fall down. And bring your hands on your ribs, maybe one in front, running back if you can reach around to the back. Breathe into the low back ribs. Start to move them back over your sacrum. Exhale, soften the front ribs in and ease the shoulders back. Draw the back bottom points of your skull back in that line. Feel for the back ribs still expanding out. And then relax your arms into Tadasana, palms facing forward. 3 sun breaths here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands into prayer. Inhale, arms up, expand back bottom ribs. Release low belly. Exhale, hug low belly in, gather into center. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. All right, find your blanket or your towel that you're using for your calf stretching. I'm going to go through this fast because I think you were all with me last time. A yoga blanket, you can simply roll it up so it looks like a yoga mat about that size that you're going to put away. A towel, you'll probably fold it up a few times. I fold mine into half and then thirds to make it about that same diameter, 4 to 6 inches. And then put it in front of your left foot. If possible, come into Tadasana with the ball of the left foot on the roll, your heel on the ground, your right heel next to your left heel, and then rocking your hips back so they're over your heels. Yes, it'll feel a little like butt sticking out, falling back and having to lean forward. Breathe the back ribs back. And again, you don't have to force it all today. This is a gradual relearning, reclaiming. Goalpost the right arm. Bend your elbow, palm facing forward. Bring left hand to your heart. Breathe into the right side chest, into the right shoulder. Exhale, soften right shoulder blade down away from ear. Breathe into back bottom ribs. And if this feels safe, exhale, press your elbow forward a little bit and rotate the hand back. Relax your arms. Step off your roll. Right foot on the roll. Take a moment to balance your pelvis back over your heels. And I forgot to say, make sure right, left feel like they're the same height. Left arm out into goalpost. Right hand on left side chest, left side of heart. Send breath into left shoulder, left upper back. Exhale, ease the shoulder blade down. You might feel like shoulder blade starts to push into low back. Breathe the back bottom ribs out of your low back. Exhale, draw your right hand in towards center just a little bit to open the tissues on the left side of chest. One more breath. And if it feels right, exhale, elbow forward, hand back. Subtle rotation. Relax your arms, step off your roll. Shin stretch variations. If it's okay for you to cross your legs, cross right toes over left. And then bend your left knee into your right calf to stretch the front of the leg. If this posture is no good for you, and you might have to stick your butt out a lot to counterbalance, and that's fine here. I'm not even talking about optimal alignment, just not falling down. If this is not all right, shin stretch instead by stepping back onto your right toenails. Those of you in the cross, untuck your toes, curl them under, come onto your toenails. All right, let's come off that foot, cross the other leg on top. Start with the ball of the foot on the ground. Little toe crunch. And yes, if you have a wall or something you can put your hands on, you might be able to lean way back and counterbalance. Breathing. Untuck your toes, come onto toenails, and stretch through the top of the foot. And release that. Come back into your Tadasana. Lift all 10 toes. I'm lifting like my pants like you can't see them. They're there. See if you can put just the pinky toe down and lift them up, down, and up. Notice what your pinky finger is doing. Now just the big toe, down and up, down and up. You can still use your hand on a wall or chair, something to balance if you like. All right, now let's try to do arpeggios with our toes. Try to do pinky toe, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, big toe. A couple times like that, playing the piano with your toes. And then see if you can reverse big toe to pinky toe. Most important piece of this, we're not going to play a concert. Keep breathing. All right, relax your feet, shake them out if you need to. Let's do one more piece for the lower limb. Come back into your Tadasana. Weight back over your heels. Spread your toes out on your yoga mat. Subtle action, pretending to pull the ball of your foot towards the heel. So there's a little contraction in the arch. Shift your weight onto the right foot. Keep your hips steady as you step left foot back and forward. You absolutely can hold on to a wall or something. This is for the muscles outside the right shin. So this is about keeping the standing leg steady and just dancing the left leg around it. If you've got that little pull on the arch, that should help protect your knee. So make sure there's no knee tweakiness. Those muscles, the pronails on the side leg, create your arch, but they also work with your calf muscles. So if you're feeling calves, no problem. See if you can feel more for the outside of your leg though. All right, relax that. Luckily, only one more leg. Let's get the left toes spread out on the mat. Feel for equal weight, heel to ball of foot, and then pretend to pull the arch towards the heel just a little bit, a little contraction. Shift your weight onto left leg. Feel free to go to your wall and start to step right foot back and forward. And then find a nice easy breath. Rotating around this left leg until you feel the outside of the left shin heating up. All right, let that go. Let's come into horse stance. If you have a yoga block, grab it and come into horse stance. The horse is optional. You can instead stand in Tadasana or put your seat against the wall or a chair. Put your block against your upper abdomen so that you can catch it with your elbows. Breathe as you do this. It's a little tricky. And then hold the block up in front of your shoulders with your palms facing back towards your face. Inhale to low back ribs. Exhale, soften shoulders away from ears. Inhale, lift the block up a little. And exhale, bring it down a little bit. Keep the rib cage steady as you lift and lower the block with your breath. If that movement feels okay to shoulders. If not, then just hold steady and breathe. If it feels yummy to your shoulders, the movement can grow as much as you like. But watch for the back trying to help. I want your shoulders to isolate. All right. Release the block, come off your horse. Hold the block behind you with your palms. Then roll the head of the shoulder back. Draw the elbows back. But again, breathe the back ribs out. The front ribs are going to try to come out and help. Leave them in. See if you can draw elbows back, shoulders back, and start to straighten your arms. If your arms straighten, then you lift the block up behind you. Keep the head of the shoulder rolling back. It will try to dip forward. Keep breathing. All right, release the block. Let's come back down to our seats. So we're just going to do some jaw tongue exercises. If you want to lie down, if you're ready to lie down, you're absolutely welcome to do this lying down. If you're sitting, get comfortable. Will be your moment for a couple exercises. Let's start with the tongue exercises. Relax the tongue down to the bottom of the mouth. And then press tongue to the roof of the mouth, just behind your teeth, without pressing against the teeth. And relax tongue to bottom of mouth. And seal it to the top of the mouth, as much as the tongue that can touch. Relax your tongue. Now bring the tip of the tongue right behind the front teeth and start to trace along the insides of your teeth all the way around the right side to those back molars, if they're there, or just as far back as you can feel. And then around behind that to the outside of the teeth, trace around the outside of the teeth all the way to the left side. Obviously can't do this and talk at the same time. And then come back to the inside of the left teeth and back to where you started. Reverse, trace along the inside of the left teeth, around back, all the way around the front, back to where you started. My teacher was talking about how tongue flexibility and strength is related to our jaw tension. When that's complete, bring your tongue down behind your bottom teeth. Let's do the whole same thing. Trace along the inside, right side, all the way back around the molars, and then around the outside, around the left, and reverse. Coordinate that with your breath. And then when you're done, open your mouth as wide as you can. Stick your tongue out as far down to the bottom of your chin as you can. And relax. Put your hands on your head just above your ears, behind your temples. And then bite your teeth together. Not too much effort. I know you guys are strong. And feel those muscles engage. Those are your biters right there. That's where your jaw muscles are. Go ahead and massage them. Give a little head shampoo. You don't have to keep biting down unless that helps you to release. All right. And then rub your hands together. Get them warm and tingly. I'm assuming everyone's hands are washed and sanitized. I keep having you touch your heads and faces. Close your eyes and then cup your warm, tingly hands over your eyes. Absorb that healing tingle into the muscles behind the eyes. Bathe the eyes. Relax them. Maybe keep your eyes closed as you come into your Shavasana resting position. It is a shorter Zoom Shavasana. Namaste, Cynthia. So if you want to turn off your computer and take a longer Shavasana, we can say namaste. I thought you were resting. Everyone left. I told them they could leave if they want a longer shavasana, so they did. Namaste.